Dirt roads to rock crawling, two-buck chuck to screaming eagle, moonshine to 50-year-old single malt. We talk about it all here on Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey with your hosts, Jason and Chris.
Welcome to the Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey podcast, episode 342, sponsored by Ruby Tracks. Do you like making fun of Toyotas? Do you like camping in Toyotas? Do you like
handies and Toyotas?
Wow, then this is the podcast for you. God, it's been a while. Welcome back, Chris. I forgot what podcast this is.
My God, it's good to see you. Good to be seen. It's good to be back.
Yes, good to be back. It just life happens as it does, and we're back. We're back. Had a lot of messages on IG from people that actually care, Chris.
Oh God,
is everything okay?
I don't believe that for a minute.
You guys quit? What's happening? Did you when I forgot all about them too. That's how long it's been. One of them said, did you guys pull what was the podcast that disappeared? Our buddies,
Mike and Max off-road podcast.
No, well, that one, but they tapped out too. But the boys from Southern California,
you're talking about trail chasers. Yeah, trail chasers. No, if we tap out, we're gonna give everybody notice.
I was gonna say it's gonna go out. We're gonna go out with fireworks and everything. You'll know. You'll know when we leave.
Yeah,
we're not just gonna Irish goodbye. Although I am the master of that.
They'll have Lorenzo will fly us out in the helicopter.
Yes, exactly.
Because there's no chance that we'll land safely. Quite
the spectacle. All right, so you got any business we need to take care of, or are we going to dive right in, dude?
I got nothing. I mean, I think I do have a review somewhere, but I'm not going to try digging it out right now.
Okay.
So, I think we've been away. We can just dive right in and get caught up with each other. I know that we're not going to make any excuses. Life happens, as Jason said before. There's been quite a few things that I've been getting caught up on, and things that, checklists. And one of the big things I wanted to mention is I've done it every year after Hammers. This is going to be our big KOH recap. But after we get back from Hammers, I always try to take a little detox on alcohol. So I stopped drinking for at least 2 weeks. This year I went 28 days.
Wow. Yeah. 28
days without a lick of alcohol. So no bourbon, no wine, no beer. And, it needed to happen. I needed to detox. And it was actually fairly easy because, as our listeners know from episodes 3 weeks ago, I came home with the flu and, I had literally no appetite, no desire, no energy. And so that first week was easy. And it was actually no big deal. I don't have a drinking problem, and it's just, so I just took a break and detoxed out. So it was good.
Right on.
So I'm still haven't had any whiskey. I've been drinking a little bit of wine on the weekends, and
that's good for the heart.
Absolutely. So that's my big news. I'm proud of it. 28 days without a single sniglet of anything. So that was good.
Well, there you go. And as we heard during the Slauson podcast, he's jumped off the wagon too, or on the wagon.
On the wagon.
I guess it's on the wagon.
It's on the wagon.
He hopped on the wagon.
Hopped on the wagon. Yeah, when you're on the wagon, you're
on the wagon with his bomber.
Because you say you fell off the wagon, that means you're drinking.
That's right. That's right. So it's the other way around.
So I mean, wheeling wine and whiskey without the wine and whiskey.
I'm drinking water.
Me too.
What are you drinking?
Just water.
This is some of Minden's, Nevada's finest water.
Right.
Oh, that's good.
So the other thing that, we talk about off-roading and all sorts of, vehicular stuff, whether it's on or off or performance, and we're gearheads, motorheads, whatever you want to call us.
Yeah.
But one of the things is this last weekend I went to, I live in Livermore. That's no secret. And we have a lot of wineries here, and I'm a member at 2 of them, and they had their wine pickups, and I made a trip last weekend on Sunday to go pick up from Bent Creek and Page Mill.
Oh, you're still a member at Bent Creek. Okay.
Yep.
I like them.
So it's funny, I pulled out of my neighborhood onto the feeder street. That's the more major road just near my house to head out. And as I'm waiting at the intersection, I need to make a left turn. So I got to cross traffic. And I'm looking, looking left, looking right. And I see these cars coming in. I have a gap and I'm like, oh, cool. And then from behind a car, I see a head. And I'm like, what the hell? And the car goes by, and it's a guy on one of those electric unicycles.
Okay.
Not a one wheel like that we were talking about at King of the Hammers where they're doing the one wheel challenge or whatever. This is a stand-up unicycle that's electric. It's basically a bike or whatever. Dude, he passed by and he was hauling the fucking mail. I'm like, holy shit, that thing's scooting. He's got a helmet on, motorcycle helmet on and everything. And I pull up behind him. He's in travel lanes it's a 4-lane road right there.
Right.
Dude, I get up to 45 and the guy is pulling away from me.
What the hell?
I'm
on a unicycle.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, I didn't think those things went that fast. I'm like, holy shit, this guy's going like 50 miles an hour.
Wow.
And he had a backpack on, he had a motorcycle helmet on, and he's just hauling the mail right down the road. And I'm like, holy smokes. I mean, it was I didn't know they could go that fast. That was crazy.
Yeah, well, the power of electricity, man.
Yep.
All the torques. All the instant torques.
And I'm like, he should have like a license plate on that thing because
jeez,
moving along.
That's insane.
So anyway, but the only other real major thing that there's a lot of things going on, but I mean, we're going to do the KOH 2026 recap. But if you're following the IG and Facebook, the big announcement that because there was are we going to have a KOH 2027? I guess that news is out. They've announced they're locking it in. They've got the dates up on the board. So KOH 2027, according to what I've been reading, is going to happen.
Well, they'll take your pre-sale money.
Of course they will.
Yeah, but it's a good deal. I mean, $50.
Sure.
Can't beat it. Is it 50? Yeah, $50.
I didn't look at all the details. I mean, because $100 is what I paid last for the last KOH.
Yeah.
So that's exciting news. And so, basically about the same time next year as we had for KOH this past year. So,
right.
Super cool. Super cool. What updates do you have before we dive in?
Oh, man. I don't know. It's just been an absolute blur. Whirlwind since KOH. I still have stuff sitting in my garage from KOH that I haven't touched. A barbecue, a pizza oven, a Camp Chef stove that desperately all needs to be cleaned. When I got back from KOH, we had some decent weather here. It wasn't below freezing.
Mm-hmm.
And I got everything pressure washed, the camper, the buggy, the trailer. Oh my God. My trailer was out there for over 3 weeks, right? Three.
You're talking over it.
So the dust on the roof of the trailer was insane. You think it would all blow off on the way home. Mm-mm. And I had to get up on a ladder and pressure wash the roof on the enclosed trailer because
it was flaking off.
Just freaking dark brown water coming down the sides of the trailer. It was like, oh my God. Yeah, dust. But it was all good. But anyways, still getting caught up with all that stuff and life. And I don't know. Maybe I'll do an episode here shortly of crazy stuff. But right now, let's talk about KOH 2026.
KOH.
Has it been a month? What's it been? It's
6 weeks.
It's been a while, huh? But let's relive it, shall we?
Oh my God. I don't know if I can handle that. I mean, if you want to start way at the beginning, I mean, you drove down a few days before.
Well, I know, but I got some quick highlights here that I'll breeze through. So I drove down on Wednesday, the 28th, and my first great highlight that kept giving while I was at King of the Hammers was visiting Alex and Jenna Carter, aka Frosty Four Wheeler.
Oh yeah,
and Jenna started up Studebaker Farms. There's this 1928 Studebaker out front, and it was her dream to have farm raised chickens and goat cheese and all this cool stuff and baking all these delicious delectables. So I picked up some sourdough bread, some sourdough cinnamon rolls that were just delightful, and a jar of her strawberry jam.
Oh, man.
And got to visit with them on my way down there in beautiful Bishop, California, off of 395 in the Eastern Sierras, just past Mammoth when you're coming from this direction heading south. Anyways, great seeing them loaded up. I mean, it smelled so good. I had to put it in the camper. I did take a warm cinnamon roll. They were still hot. And I threw one on a paper towel and ate that on the way down the road, headed towards Hammers. But every morning, I started my morning with either a cinnamon roll or a slice of sourdough bread and a strawberry jam. So if you find yourself in Bishop, California, go hit up Studebaker Farms. They're on Instagram. I'm sure they're on Facebook too. And just place your order and you pick it up on your way through. It's pretty cool. So Thursday 29th was setup day for me. My trailer was already down there, but had to reset camp. CJ hooked me up with an air conditioning unit, one of those stand-up you've been outside a window. Well, I don't have any windows in the trailers, so I use the battery compartment that I'm not using anymore because I have a bigger battery, and worked out great. And that thing paid off because when we get to Saturday, being in the trailer all day watching the race, it went from heater on to door open to AC to nighttime,
and the heater was back on,
and then the heater came back on that night. You're right.
It's crazy, but that's later on.
Horton with a who, he came in, Pete came in, and we went and tooled around the countryside a little bit. So Friday, one thing, I did take the side panels off my buggy. I thought, hey, a few years ago when I saw all the Campbells running together up Jack and everything, they all had their side panels off. And I'm like, well, that's a fucking brilliant idea. So you don't beat up your side panels. Not that I was racing on Friday or Saturday, but I have this nice new wrap. Thanks to Miracle Trust there and Corey. And I'm like, I'm not going to beat my side panels up. So I ran it naked, and it's actually kind of nice because I could really see out the passenger side that I never been able to see before. And I didn't worry about, laying it on its side. And it's a good thing I took it off because King's Veto, I would have had a huge scratch on that side, driver's side too. Anthony was there from DF Fab, and some of his buddies, Dave Ainsworth. I mentioned Big Pete. And so we went out wheeling on Friday, and we went over to 1920, Highway 19, Highway 20. And then we went over, and I think we headed up Spooners. I think we were heading up Spooners, and the race was heading down. I always like to, when we're running, I like to run the way that the racers are going to pre-run the course. And I was following, and I didn't pay much attention, obviously. Well, we were going up and racers were coming down, but we had plenty of room to pull off to the side. And here comes Tom Ways, running down. So that was cool seeing him. And then Shannon Campbell and Chris Ray.
Oh, good.
Were pre-running. So that was cool. Shannon actually stopped and did a quick video and what up, Wheeler Water Whiskey and all that. So that was cool. Tom, my buddy Tom Walters was riding with me that day. And I don't know if Shannon thought you were Chris or what, but he's like, hey, what up? He's got gray hair too. So,
we're all we all have gray, even you.
I got tons, a lot more gray, trust me. And then, so shortly after that, we're headed up the trail, and Anthony got wadded up on this rock, totally in between his rear links. Rear drive shaft left the chat.
Oh boy!
And totally separated out. I mean, it separated. So got him pulled off, and he was able to drive back to camp in front wheel drive, remove the drive shaft, and was able to go back. And then we continued on, and God, I can't remember what trails we hit, but we just kept wheeling and wheeling till it started getting late,
Uh-huh.
and sun was starting to go down. We go, oh, we gotta get back to camp. But I had the last couple of runs, I've been having this backfire, and I'm like, what the hell is a coil going out or something? It's technically on the driver's side of the motor, but it's passenger side on my rig because everything's backwards.
Uh-huh.
And my buddy Tom riding with me is a pretty good wrench, and he's like, let me see, and sure as shit, he found it right away. All my spark plug wires are covered with this heat wrap because it's so close to the headers.
Mm-hmm.
And he found a broken wire, almost broken all the way through. And he goes, here's your problem. Well, the day before I had, what did I give Anthony? Oh, he needed a hose inside his fuel tank. The hose inside his fuel tank totally deteriorated.
Oh, man.
And he goes, hey, do you have any hose? And I'm like, I got a box of stuff here. Let me see. Yep, got a hose. And it was the right size and worked. So I'm like, perfect. So then that day, I go over to him. I go, hey, you got any spark plug wires? And he goes, yes, I do. So he had a spark plug wire for me. So I think that's an even trade, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
Wire, I don't know. The wire costs more. But anyways, got that. And then it ran like a top. I was like, oh, my God. It's just, I've just been running the buggy. Haven't really, just kind of give it a once over with the eyes. But I really need to get that thing in the garage and go through everything. Do a pre-check race prep on it. We'll see.
Yeah, I'd like to say it's an off season, but your big buggy times are. There is no off season because you got Trail Hero in October, and then you've got a couple of months downtime, and then you go to King of the Hammers, and then you kind of off time again, and then it's summer wheeling.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, it's summer. It's like summer up here right now.
It is. Yeah,
it's really nice, but too nice for this time of the year.
It's crazy.
And then Saturday, you arrived.
I did.
What was your trip down?
Oh my God, it was pretty chill until it wasn't. I mean, it was a fine drive, but getting south, I took I-5 out of the Bay Area, and a lot of our listeners probably have heard about this Thule fog that sometimes happens in the Central Valley, and I got lucky until I wasn't lucky, probably near Wasco. I hit the fog, and it was like fog like I've never seen before. It was scary. I mean, you could only see 50, 75, maybe 100 feet. And you're on a major freeway with big rigs and regular cars, and some people are, taking heat and slowing down and turning their hazard lights on, and dude, it was, you can't stop because you will get rear-ended. So I tucked in with a bunch of big rigs, and we were down to about 40, 45 miles per hour with our hazard lights on it was great. Everybody was spacing themselves out to the point where they could see just enough to the vehicle in front of them. So you had that little bit, you had as much buffer as possible. But I mean, I was in that shit for like 60, 70 miles. And then even going through, once I switched over to whatever the connecting highway that connects, I-5 to 99 was it Stagecoach or something? 58. It's 58.
58. Yeah.
And
right.
This is the first time I've ever driven through Bakersfield and never actually saw Bakersfield. I mean, you look off to the side of the freeway and you can see downtown. It was like you were in a capsule. You were just a white bubble that you couldn't see out of. And then finally you start climbing the Tehachapi's and it started clearing up and you could see. But I mean, it was eerie. It was nerve wracking. It was very, not being able to see, as far as you want to see, to be able to be aware of what your surroundings are was disconcerting. And I didn't really like it that much, but
that sucks.
So, but once you got into the Tehachapi's, it was easy going. I filled up back in off of Highway 5 when I switched over to 58 and cruised into Boron, where I stopped at the not the Flying J, but the what's the other, not a Pilot, I don't know what the big
Loves
the big Loves there, filled up again from it Loves, and then actually took a different route this time. I jumped on 395 towards actually Waze redirected me and told me to go south off of 395 at that, whatever that junction about 3 miles from Love's, and
Really?
a different route. So it went through Apple Valley and whatever.
Huh.
So different route this time, which was fine. I mean, it seemed like I wouldn't have liked it as much if I was towing, but there was a lot of not residential, but city driving, a lot of turns, a lot of traffic lights, so on and so forth. But once you got through that, that's the one thing that I will say, that route it's a different route. It's fairly scenic, but once you get into that San Bernardino or whatever it is, there's a lot of traffic lights. Well, if you continue on and you go through Barstow, you only hit like 3 lights, but there was probably 10 or 15 lights going the other route.
Right.
But got to Boone Road. That was actually pretty chill. Got to the gate, and it wasn't bad. They flew right through, and then got my sticker and got my wristband, and motored over to Upper Hammertown Heights and found the spot. You guys were out wheeling, so I found where I was supposed to park and set up my rig and got leveled, and then I got bent.
He got bent. Yeah, you rolled in. We got you a good spot right in front of me. We had a good camp this year.
Yeah, it was a little different. I mean, like Big Pete didn't have his big rig with
Taj Mahal,
and Horton has a new tent, some fancy.
Yeah, it's a way better tent than the TP. A lot more room in there, and he said the stove works a lot better. It didn't smoke him out. You remember the old tent? Sometimes
oh yeah,
it would backdraft or something, and he'd smoke out his tent.
Well, I mean,
smoke lodge.
It's just, I mean, talking about the weather at KOH this year. I mean, it was dry, it was dusty, it was warm during the day, it was cold at night, but there was no W. I mean, there was one day where we had a little bit of a puff, but I mean, that was the big problem, is there was just no wind, so the dust was just floating, But I got into camp and started saying hi to everybody, reintroducing myself to, reacquainting myself with people I hadn't seen since last year. And good camp, good. Tommy, I hadn't seen him in a year at least, and
he hasn't been there in a few years. To there, but you go on other trips with us. But yep.
So. But it was good, just settling into the routine, and started my Jack and Cokes on Saturday afternoon, and leaned into those pretty hard. But there's no, I'm not going anywhere. I mean, it was good.
It was good. So James got there too. I think that Friday is when he pulled in.
Mm-hmm.
But we went out. We went up Jackhammer with that crew. Big Pete and Horton and Ainsworth and Anthony and all them. And, it was a parking lot just like during the race. And it was fun. I mean, we were hammering the left traditional line, the plaque line. And it's gnarly. You got to climb the wall and to get traction and stuff. And James and I got through pretty good. Horton,
you're both drag axles.
We're both drag axles. Oh, yeah. There was we had a couple of rear steers, right? Like Dave's car's rear steer and Anthony's car and stuff. But Pete's car. Anthony had his. Oh no, Anthony's car is a rear steer. But
Pete has rear steer.
Huh?
Pete has rear steer.
Yeah, you're right. All these guys have rear steer now. I got to find new friends. We're starting our club called the Section 8 Wheelers, and it's just drag axles because obviously drag axles are the recipe for success at Kicking the Hammers. So
right, solid axles.
So we're up there, and I get up through, and I walk back down, and I'm look over, and it's Jason Shear, and Jason Berger, and they're doing a little pre-running, and so I'm like, hey, Jason, it's Jason from the podcast. He goes, yeah, I know who you are, and came over, and we started chatting for a while, and then talked to Berger real quick. He was pretty, he was in business mode, checking everything out, checking out lines and stuff, which is cool. But so talked to Shearer for a while, and we popped out. We got past the traffic in Jack and popped out, and then did the that big vista. It's gnarly up there. If you've never been up there, you know where the area I'm talking about. You're on that ridge.
Oh yeah.
And you're just cruising up, and then there's a rocky section like halfway through that kind of puts you off camber a little bit, and then you come up to the top, and it's one of the best views, of the valley. You're close enough to Hammertown where you can kind of pick things out and get a great overview of the valley there
above the dust.
Exactly. Then we went over to King's Vito, and so we ended up going up King's Vito, and this is where I was really happy I took the side panels off because I was up against the cage hard, and it was gnarly, man. There's just huge rocks right there, and trying to get traction, and of course they're placed where your tires are digging in and can't get traction on the rock. And then you finally get traction on a rock on the side, but it's not the direction you want to go. And you got to whip the wheel back. And so we fought through that for a little bit, but we didn't have to winch. Good. Which was great. And, Horton here is still just motoring through with that, Toyota of his.
Well, it's been modified.
Not much of a Toyota anymore, but yeah.
It's got tons and linked. It's in coilovers. Yeah. I mean, it's not the same Toyota he had last time.
But he sends it like a buggy, which is just fun to watch. And then the dirt nerds came into camp the next day, Sunday, or late Saturday night, I think they were.
Dirt Drive podcast.
The Dirt Drive podcast. So got to see those guys, PJ, Trevor, Tim, and Tom.
So what they do? They flew to LA and they rented an RV and drove from LA to Hammers.
Exactly. Yeah.
So they got the full experience.
They did. They really did. And they were more excited than a 4-year-old on Christmas morning, man. They were just running around, having a great time. And so got to meet them and have some whiskey and welcome them to the Hammers and just the week that was going to ensue, man.
Chaos. Yeah, they were busy little bees, man. Every time I was in camp a lot, and they were heading out, they were heading back in, then they'd be heading back out. I don't think they
slept a whole lot.
No, I don't think so. So they got a lot of content though.
They did. So that day, James broke his one of his RCV front axles.
Yeah.
So they were working on that, got that out. What else? What other notes do I hear? Oh, we interviewed Eric Wicks.
No.
No. What do I have here?
Sunday would have been King Shocks.
We recorded with Brett King and Balmer Bob. Why don't I have Eric? Oh, we were in the pits. I was in the pits with Eric Wicks and Balmer. That's where I was. I got pits written here. Can't read my own writing. So yeah, we popped in and out of those pits, and fun. They were watching,
just pretty quick little walk through the secret gate.
What secret gate? Yes. It's cool. Checking that out. They're in prep mode, and obviously they've got a job to do. So we try to keep our visits short if they're in the heat of things there. But most of the time, got to chill and just bullshit with the people of our people,
various race teams that we hang out with.
Yeah. So let's see who else. Oh, we did burger night that night.
Oh yeah. I didn't participate in the meal plan.
You weren't part of the meal plan. You had your own meal plan, but we changed it up this year, and it was good. I think it worked out great. We had some great meals, and
you guys
Dolly got the tent.
You guys did smash burgers?
We did. Yeah, we did smash burgers, a gourmet smash burgers, bacon, cheese, onions, sauteed onions. I mean, we had the whole, and then of course all the produce to put on it.
Yeah, nice.
So did that with the Dirt Nerd. So when Tim originally got in contact with me, and he's like, "Hey, our first time, what do we do?" And I'm like, "Just run far, far away." No. I'm like, "Yeah, no, if you want to camp with us, you're more than welcome." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And I go, "We do this meal plan." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And then I guess they talked about it. And they go, yeah, we definitely want to do that. And I don't think they regretted it. They had a blast, and we got our dinner that first night. Sunday night was the first night of group dinners, and I think we served about 40 people that night.
Wow.
So that was a lot of work, but we got it done and got our refrigerators emptied. And
that's key, right?
It is key, especially when you got a smaller refrigerator like we do in our cab over campers.
Yeah.
So
I remember when I was on the meal plan, you and I would do steaks, and and I think one year I did twice baked potatoes, and I had freaking potatoes, everywhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And romaine lettuce. It was nuts.
Oh yeah. Caesar salad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'd love to do steaks again, but that's just a lot of people to cook steaks for.
That's a lot of steak.
And to haul down to the desert. So, burgers it was good though. I didn't just buy frozen patties. We made our own burgers. Actually, James was part of that deal, and Pete and James and Rhonda, even though Rhonda wasn't there, she helped prep the burgers beforehand.
Oh, good.
Gourmet patties. So that was cool. They were tasty, very tasty.
Nice.
Okay. So Monday morning, I went down and visited Johnny and Shelby Valadez.
Oh yeah,
with telemetry racing, and Hunter, their daughter. So it was cool to see them, and they had I saw it because we were walking past it a lot. Their camp was right on the corner there, kind of the corner of where the Wicks. They were a few down from them, across from Balmer. SoCal was right around the corner. Freight Factory. So there's a lot of the people we knew. Megan and Derek Miller were right in the mix right there too. So there's a lot of pits of people we knew right there, which was fun. But they had a mess trailer, an Army freaking mess trailer as their kitchen. And one of the guys was there cooking for them and breakfast and dinners, and I got to go up there and see this thing during breakfast, and he did full on omelets and everything. I'm like, this is killer.
Wow.
So what a cool setup. And I guess Johnny stores it on his property the rest of the time, the other 360 days of the year, or 355 days of the year.
Right.
But it's a cool setup, grill and ovens and all kinds of cool shit. So, let's see. And then, we went out to Outer Limits, that whole group again, Outer Limits and Z-Walk. The Z-Walk's fun, named after Zandy Williams. And the top part is there was no tire tracks up there. That's
what you were saying.
Yeah. So that's a good one to go play on if you want to play and try and do something ridiculously hard. Top of Z-Walk. But anyways, Pete ended up breaking a brake line right at the end of Outer Limits, and that was real gnarly in there. We were waiting there for a couple hours. Part of the winch mob was in there.
Oh, okay.
And, they were winching. they were living up to their name. Unfortunately, this was a weird deal, and so there's a huge rock in the center, and you can either go to the right, and there's a wall to climb and catch traction because there's a big diff transfer case catcher, and then the left is a little bit easier, but not like, I'm going left because it's like super easy. I mean, they're kind of each have their own thing. Anyways, winch mob was ahead of us, and they're doing their thing, and they get through. And I'm like, oh shit. There was a winch line extension and a shackle, and had the guy's name on it. And, it was clearly the winch mobs. It was orange. Everything they have, recovery gear, is like orange. That's their deal. And so I'm like, oh shit. So I started to grab it because I'm like, I'll find them. It's early in the week, and we'll see them again, or at least I can DM them on Instagram or something and find out whose exactly it is of their group. And anyways, long story short, there's this other guy that was there the whole time, and I thought he was with him. And he goes, "Oh, I can give it to them. They're camped right next to me." And I go, "Okay, so you're not part of the winch mob?" He goes, "No, but they're camped right next to me." And I'm like, "All right, cool." You assume everybody's pretty cool down there.
Well, yeah.
Well, so the winch mob comes into our camp later that night because they know us, and they go, "Hey, did you pick that up?" And I go, "I did, but I handed it to this guy and told him the story." He goes, "Well, son of a bitch, I never got it back." And I go, "Well, that's bullshit." I said, "Well, I know what the guy's driving a side-by-side." I said, "I know exactly what it looks like." And I said, he was camped next to you. So if you don't get it, I said, we're going to throw out an APB. And he's like, "All right, cool." So a couple days go by, and I keep seeing him in Hammertown and in passing and stuff. And I'm like, "Hey, did you get your bag?" No. And then I felt bad. I was like, fuck, I should have grabbed it. I should have given it to him, right? But, you like to trust everybody out there, but...
Well, you got to say bad roads bring out good people, but sometimes not necessarily, right?
Well, so then I'm trying to give the guy a benefit of the doubt. Like, oh, maybe he forgot that he had it. He threw it on back of his rig or whatever and forgot he had it. Well, after 3 days, you're going to find it, right? If you're out wheeling.
Oh, shit. I'm supposed to take that back to the guy. Oh, exactly. My bad.
Now, at this point, it's looking like he kept it for himself.
Right.
Well, we were messaging back and forth, and he finally texted me and said, "We got our stuff back." And I go, "Okay." And I go, "Great." And then I saw him later that day, and I go, "What's the deal?" He goes, "Yeah, the guy was real funny about the whole thing." And I think somebody called him out on his bullshit is what happened. So anyways, that was a weird deal. But at the end of the day, he got his winch extension and shackles back. But
good.
Yeah, just weird.
Well, there was some weird shit going on. I mean, when you have that many people show up in one location, meaning, Johnson Valley, King of the Hammers, you're going to have 90, whatever the percentages are. Let's call it 99% are going to be good people. And there's always going to be that 1% or 5% that are there to cause problems or be mischievous or whatever. So
yeah.
We heard the stories about PRP, stuff disappearing from people's camps. PCI radios had an issue.
Yeah, couple camps. Vendors.
Morflate had problems the year before. It wasn't. Didn't they just take the lights off of Tyler's rig or something there in camp?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, they removed. Tyler can confirm it or deny it, but I'm pretty sure I remember that. They came back to the booth the next morning, and the auxiliary LED lights were gone.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
So shit happens, and you need to watch your shit. That's why we like to be up in Upper Hammertown Heights, and we can circle the wagons. And usually somebody's always in camp, but obviously nothing's perfect. So, but just if you find something, you know who it's supposed to go to, take it back to them. Be a man of your word, or be a person of your word.
Yeah,
don't be that guy or gal.
Yeah, there you go. So later that evening, I guess it was early evening, right after dinner, it was taco night in our camp, and Monday night taco night. They missed the memo that it's supposed to be Tuesday night. But anyways, Monday night taco night. And Bailey Cole came into our camp.
Bailey Cole.
Along with his entourage. We saw the Huntress. Which is cool. Yeah. And
Christina.
She was there. Yeah. Christina and her friend Tara.
Yeah. Something like that. TARA.
Yeah. So yeah, and she was full of energy. They were both playing off of each other and fun. So they sat in with the podcast with us with Bailey Cole that night.
So the floor plan of the Wheeling Wine and Whiskey Hospitality Trailer is you and I and Bailey were sitting in chairs basically in some sort of a circle-ish pattern.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then there was another person sitting or standing in the doorway, and then Christina and Tara were sitting on the counter at the very front of where all the whiskey was stored.
The whiskey table, yes.
The bar, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And they were, so I was sitting in such a way that I had a clear view. I was basically towards the rear door of the trailer. So I was looking straight up towards the front of the trailer, and Christina and Tara.
My back was to them. I was facing you.
Oh yeah. No. So you missed out on all the shenanigans going behind. They were drinking from pretty much every bottle, or sampling every bottle.
They were sampling.
And yeah, they were definitely imbibing quite a bit of alcohol.
They were taking pictures. Yeah, they were
giggling and just yeah.
They were having fun. So we were conducting business and interviewing Bailey, and
they were distracting. It was
but we powered through. We're professionals, pure professionals.
Yeah, Bailey's such a great guy. He's a class act all the way through. I mean, really like that dude.
Yeah, 100%. And, it's always great to sit down with him. And, I saw him at Trail Hero, and he's like, "Hey, are we gonna record at Hammers?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, we will." So that was cool. So we got him in, and that was awesome. I enjoyed that. Always enjoy talking with him. He's just grounded is a good word there.
Yep.
And grateful. Grounded and grateful.
Yeah, he was racing in multiple classes this year too. So,
and I think 4,400 car
had his own 4,400 car. He was racing the Bronco, and so I mean, I don't think he did very well this year, but unfortunately, he's young.
I don't think anybody did well this year except for Slauson. So, yeah. and Amber.
Truer words are never spoken.
Did really well.
Yeah, we'll talk about the 4,400 in a few minutes.
So yeah. So Tuesday, I mean, the week's just cranking by, and
the weather is still epic. I mean,
weather's great. Dust is prevalent. Blowers are going every morning, blowing shit off, and resetting. I did bring my DeWalt vacuum this year.
Did.
Vacuum. That was a game changer, because normally I'm blowing out the camper, but you're just blowing dust around at that point. So I'm like, okay, I'm bringing the vacuum. So I was able to keep the inside of the camper pretty clean, and that's been the great thing, having the rolling enclosed trailer whiskey studio there, Wheeling Wine and Whiskey Studio, because everybody goes in there and not in my camper like they used to.
Mm-hmm.
14 people in my camper one time at Hammers. And set up the car.
I remember that.
Sensor.
That was claustrophobia on high for me. I'm like, I got to get out.
Jones, and then Papa Jones was there too. His dad was there.
Oh yeah, no,
it was good times.
It was a crowd.
Hot Rod. So anyways, Tuesday they went out wheeling, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna hang back. My buddy Tom was there with his wife Victoria, and I go, what are you guys doing there? We're going to go into Hammertown Vineyards. And I hadn't gone around the vineyards yet. And I'm like, you know what? That sounds cool. Let's do that. So we went around the vineyards in Hammertown. So got to talk to people. And then there was like some new vendors there, like Carbon Off-Road, the winch, these winches. And I saw one on Johnny Valdez's, Bomber. And then I'm like, wow, they're sponsoring a lot of drivers. So I'm like, go talk to them. They were super cool, down to earth, and they got a cool feature on one of their winches that's an air powered, free spool. So
what?
you can free spool or engage your winch, with this air switch. And I'm like,
so it's like an air locker.
Yeah, I like it, but I'm like, okay, that's cool, because my winch controls are inside the buggy, and my winch is well worn now that it's on its last leg. What is it? Schmitty built. I don't know how I've built. I've built a lot of trails with that thing. I've cleared a lot of trails with it. I've recovered a lot of rigs. I've recovered myself several times with it, and it still grinds away, but it does not free spool anymore. The problem is I got to cut tubes to get this thing out. The way that it was put in is silly.
It's installed in there.
Yeah, all that will change, but in due time. But anyways, I was talking to them and about winches and stuff, and some other vendors down there. Of course, saw Kelly and Justin with Rugged Revive.
Right.
You know, I went over to talk to Justin at Warren, but he wasn't there. And every time I saw him, he was like busy and deep in chat.
That's like go time for him. You know?
My gosh. Yeah. So went around and I went and saw Nick from Sayers from Loose and Lost. Talked to him, got some stickers, and bought one of the latest backdoor shirts.
Oh yeah,
his latest design. So it was fun stuff. And so, anyways, we're going around. They had quite the food vendor row there, but we decided to go down to the 40 for lunch. I said, "Why not? Let's go to the 40." So we headed down to the 40, and I got fish on the lake bed. I got a poke bowl with a machi, freaking salmon.
Good on you, man. Risk taker.
I'm like, I've heard good things. Amber tried it earlier, and I'm like, you know what? It's, there's planes that fly fish all over the world, and one of the best sushi restaurants that I've ever been to is in Carson City, Nevada, far away from an ocean, but they fly in fresh fish every, it's 4 days a week. So anyways, it was delicious. Good. And it was, can't remember the exact price, but it was reasonable, very reasonable, I thought, for being on the lake bed and getting a fresh bowl. And it came, I'm reading the menu and I'm like, oh, I'll take that with the salmon. And he goes, oh no, it comes with all that. And I'm like, oh shit. Okay. Load it up.
What day was that? Tuesday?
That was on Tuesday.
Yeah, because Andy Carnitas and I went out there on Monday, and they said they were probably not going to open because there wasn't enough people. And I'm like, dude, there's like 70,000 people out here.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't very crowded. It was like after 1, it was probably closer to 2 when we were there. But it was good, and they had the pizza going and stuff. And I was, and then they had a coffee truck there, serving gourmet coffee. So it's like, okay, cool. So then we headed back because 4,800 qualifying power hour was coming up.
4,800. That's right. Tuesday is a very busy day with a lot of shit going on, and that's one of it.
Yes, one of them. And so got over there, got down to the infield of the short course, and was talking to Randy, Amber, Woody Rose, all of them lined up for the power hour, which was cool. And it was cool. Randy said one of the best quotes, and we talked about it in the last podcast, but he's seen a lot of races lost in qualifying, not won in qualifying. So
true.
Don't wreck your shit was the moral of the story. And he went out and put it on the pole. So that was cool. Amber did well and put her in a good spot, obviously, for her to finish well, that we'll get to here in a second, if you don't already know. And and then it was over, and I ran back to camp, and then it was pizza night at our camp.
Well, let's hold on now. I mean, during qualifying and power hour, and just qualifying in general, there was that Q course was no joke. It wasn't very long. But man, there was some terrain on it, and there was some high speed stuff. There was some sharp turns. There was a hill climb, and then there was that. It was no joke. I mean,
some gotchas. Yeah,
there was some. Yeah, gotchas. That's a good term.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was during power hour. But that one guy that just full fledged sent it. Coming down that backside. And hit that rock coming off he kind of got a little offline and the bomber, and he just completely blew up his car. I mean, it was like,
well, that's why he's getting a portal bomber now.
Right,
he's got to have that extra clearance.
But then, of course, I mean, it's just super cool. I mean, like you said, what Randy said, a lot of people lose the race during qualifying. I mean, there was. It's a fine line to walk, when you're going through that course. You want to you got to figure out your strategy, but at the same time, I'm not sure what I'm trying to say.
Well,
but
you're trying to figure out where you want to start, right? And then this year it was very important to start towards the front because of dust.
Oh, dust was horrible.
Stay out ahead of it, and that was the big concern. So I think some more drivers pushed it harder this year, trying to get towards the front than normal year. I don't know, my view, but yeah, it was good. I mean, great. So
there was a lot of good action, that's for sure.
Yeah, and with our camp supporting the bomber camp there, because we have a relationship with bomber there. It's like a lot of bomber fans in our camp, obviously. So we were pretty stoked that night that Amber did well and Randy got the pole.
Yeah, no, very cool stuff.
So it was pizza night, Dolly's pizza night, and it's one of our more complicated nights to cook dinner.
Yeah,
and I got wrangled in by Dolly because whatever Dolly asks you to do something, you do it without question. And so I said yes, Mom. So I got to cook pizzas in a 9,000 degree oven and tent.
Yeah, you came back to camp and you looked like a whore in church. You were sweating so bad.
They were fanning me. I kept running out. I must have drank 4 big, cups of water. But I think we did 58 pizzas or something. I don't know. It was a lot.
You said they were running out of dough.
We ran out of dough. And I said, hey, Dolly, make me a pizza dough, please. I am having fucking pizza tonight after slaving over this stove. I said, I'm my mouth is watering over here.
Right.
And so, so I got a pizza at the end. So that's cool. But, and then I woofed down the pizza and like freaking did a quick whore bath and then ran over to Ultra 3 because it was Ultra 3 night.
Right.
And holy hell, never disappoints. A lot of fun.
No,
big crowd.
Huge crowd. A lot of good music, a lot of action, a lot of cars or three-wheelers getting crazy. Good times.
Yeah, so James and I walked over there and we saw Smokey the Bear, and I go, hey, we got to get a picture with Smokey the Bear. So we made our rounds a couple times, and then
only you can prevent forest fires.
When Smokey was free, I'm like, okay, we jumped in and grabbed a picture with Smokey the Bear. So I still have the photo that comes up when Big Pete calls is the Easter Bunny and him, because 5-6 years ago the Easter Bunny was at Ultra 3, so you just never know what you're going to find out there at Ultra 3.
No, you really don't.
And they had the full DJ this year. I mean, every year they keep stepping this thing up, and it was great. So prior to early in the week, I DM'd them and I go, hey, are we interviewing this year? What's happening? Yeah, absolutely, let's do it. Well, I knew it wasn't going to happen Tuesday night.
No.
So, but they're like, yeah, after, they tried to do it before earlier in the week, didn't work out. We couldn't meet up. So, we met, on Thursday and ended up catching that interview, which we'll get into here in a second. What else was I got written down here? Oh, the Dirt Nerds have their own bourbon by Devil's Due. I guess it's a distillery out near them, and they built a relationship with them, and so they had their own labeled bourbon. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You're not even a bourbon podcast, and you got your own bourbon.
I didn't get a chance to try it. That's
I have it. I have a bottle here.
Oh, you do?
A bottle. So yes, I have a bottle here. So that is here for us to try. You need to make a run back up here because we also have some bourbon that a listener sent to us. Garrison and Brett. You remember Brett? He did the Rubicon. I guess you never met him.
Probably not.
But anyways, he went out and he was able to procure some Garrison brothers. One of them's they're both they're 146.4 proof. So bring your big boy pants when you come over here to Minden.
Yeah, let's interject real quick. So I know that with the listeners know there's been an ongoing thing for me to go to Reno occasionally to see my mom, and this was all coming to a head during King of the Hammers. But my mom no longer lives in Reno. She now lives in Livermore, about 2 miles from me, in an assisted living facility. So
yeah,
that move was done successfully, and she's settling in nicely, and I get to see my mom probably twice a week now.
So that's cool. That's how. Yeah. So is she liking it?
She has mixed feelings. I mean, she's just, she's stubborn. She's an older, stubborn lady that, has her way of doing things, and she's adapting slowly but surely. So,
right.
But yeah, I'm not going to be heading to Reno as frequently as I used to. So, we'll have to, obviously, if I'm going to come up that way, we'll have to plan that out. But, yeah, definitely. It's always an adventure or fun to go, to your place and see what's going on, go wheeling out in the desert, which is just off, basically out your back door. Right. So, but yeah, and then of course it's kind of fun to let our hair down a little bit and drink some good whiskeys.
Exactly. Yeah. So Brett sent us that, and man, it was in this box. I'm showing you the box on.
Yeah.
And it was just 2 little bottles in there, right? Like sampler bottles with just a little bit of packaging. I mean, they were rattling around. I don't know how they made it without breaking. I don't know how they all the way from Texas. So,
wow.
I don't know. Maybe there was more stuff in there, and somebody
the mailman took it.
I don't know, but they are totally unscathed, and it's amazing that they made it here.
That's good. Unobtainium glass. Who knows?
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Right on.
So, anyways, all right. Back to
Ultra
3 Tuesday night. So yeah, hung out there for a while, and then we kind of came back. They were just getting ready to do their final group, and so watched that, and then we were out of there. And they always have, it goes late into the night.
Yeah, no, it parties hard. They party hard, no doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that I popped my head in there real quick. It's a lot of people, a lot of loud sounds and stuff, and I end up working my way back across the street to the. This is too much stimulation, and
there you go. There's a lot of stimulation. Yeah,
and so I end up going back to camp and hanging out at the campfire is usually what I do. So which is just across the street.
Yeah,
so across the street, across the road.
That's great stuff. All right, so then Wednesday, we are race week, 4,400 qualifying. Ooh. That day.
The big boys.
The big, rowdy.
Unlimited class. What are the rules in the unlimited class? The rule is there's no rule.
We don't talk about Fight Club.
If you have enough money to buy it, you can run it. Horsepower, shock packages,
there
tire
are some
size
requirements to meet for safety, obviously. But pretty much, let's see what you got. And so it's cool. So 4,400 qualifying. Went out there, watched a ton of people. Eric Wicks and his new spaceship. It was cool. He was right behind his old car that he sold to Josh from SoCal X and Freight Factory there. So I go, what was it like seeing your car take off right in front of you, while you're waiting to do it? It was a little different. That was well, but you're sitting in a fucking badass spaceship. So
Yep.
That sounds so fucking good. Love that engine.
Dude, we were down in the pit a couple days before that, and he was doing, I guess the tuner was working on the engine.
Yeah,
and
they were tuning.
And I mean, the sound of that engine was just, it sounded so good.
It did.
Just clopping along. It was great.
Yeah, it was interesting watching the graph up on the laptop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Blipping the throttle and watching it come back down to idle, and you're trying to keep it in this range, and James Schofield's there, and he's pointing this stuff out, and it was really interesting to watch. You're basically, I mean, it's running great prior to that, but you're just trying to get down to that gnat's ass where it's just running perfect,
right?
And you can do that with the technology now. So
yeah.
Before you were changing metering rods and jets and possibly different carburetors, trying to get the right air fuel mixture. And now you can
and
just
then
fucking
timing,
change shit on
little timing
computer.
adjustments and whatever.
Yeah.
So,
So, so that was cool. I don't know. I mean, Wednesday was kind of a blur. We're running around and, didn't do any wheeling that day.
There's so much action going on with the qualifying course at that point. I mean, it's just, we're popping in and out. I don't think we didn't have the TV going, but I was watching a lot of the qualifying, either going up to the meal tent to watch it on the TV up there, or because we had Starlink, I was streaming it on my phone and it's just back at the camper. But I mean, I didn't make the trip down to Hammertown to watch the Power Hour like I think a lot of you guys did. But you see more of the quality. I mean, we could actually see the Q course from the back of our campers.
Oh, I know that was cool to watch, because we were watching some of it, like say on our TV and stuff in camp, and then you like, okay, here they come, and you go out and you look and you could see them live racing on the course until they went up over the mountain, and then you watch it back on the TV, but the live feed. But it was great. So Power Hour didn't disappoint.
No,
all the big boys there.
Paul Wolf.
Man. Put on quite an exhibition like he normally does.
Oh no, he's a wheel man. He held post, or he had the pole.
Yep, had the pole. So then that night I wandered back into Hammertown and I wanted to see the car show. Yeah, they did a car show. Dave
Cole.
Was it Dave? God, there was the guy from the Gambler 500 that started the 500. There was the mayor of Hammertown. I'm forgetting his name right now. And then there's Dave Chappelle, the dirt show there. Fred Williams was there.
Oh, Fred Williams. Yeah.
So Fred Williams was
the underwater Jeep.
Yeah, it was entertaining. They had some pretty eclectic cars up on stage. Dolly got to bring the V Cross up on stage, so that's super cool.
Moment of silence for the V Cross.
Yeah, they gave each one talked about their thoughts on it and stuff, and it was cool. It turned out to be pretty nice event there that night. Thursday morning, I got up and went over to Optima and Plugged because CJ with a CJ was over there organizing the
Rivians.
Yeah, the Rivian. It was Rivian. It was an EV, couple day EV deal that they did out there throughout the desert rides and stuff. And he was ramrodding the whole organization of it and trails and organizing all the trail leads, and he had his hands full, but it's cool. So went down there and met some of the Rivian guys, some of the guys that have taken our class. Shout out to Sierra Nevada Off-Road Academy that we're really plugging along on now. Thanks to CJ, we've had a few classes at Hollister, Johnson Valley, and we got another class coming up next week in Hollister. So he's been busy. So that was cool. What an operation. Optima pulled out, they had a freaking, oh my God. I mean, it was just this huge tent. They had a, meal area, bathrooms. They had a bar, cantina set up with a stage and bistro lights and just a chill zone. It was really well done. And this was all down at the 40, the back 40 of the 40.
Right.
And, it's really cool. So, and here I am driving in my buggy and, so it's pretty cool.
No replacement for displacement.
No, there is no replacement for displacement. Exactly right. So then I jammed back to camp and we interviewed Eric Wicks.
That's right. I was texting you that Eric's here. So Eric and I hung out for a bit and got caught up. It was cool. And then you showed up.
I'm sorry.
And you ruined the vibe, man.
You should have recorded without me.
No, Eric's another stand-up classy dude, just lives the life, the mountain lifestyle. He lives up there in Truckee, his whole family, and he's just a down-to-earth dude, and I enjoy hanging out with him. And I know that we had him on the show in the early days when we were at Meadow Lake, up there pre-Sierra Trek, I believe. And he and his nephew and his brother were there with us. And that was a great trip. And I will say, and I've said it before to him, we like a lot of people, and, but him and his family are always welcome at our campfire for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. The whole Wix racing team there, Justin and Chris, and Eric, it's just it's good family, good racing family.
Wix family racing
together stays together.
That's right.
But yeah, and then so we got to interview, Justin and Chris here after that was our last podcast, I guess, episode before we took a little hiatus. So if you haven't listened to that one, listen to that one. There's some crazy stories, the lap 3 stories, man.
Oh yeah.
What they went through, endured. But yeah, Eric's interview was awesome. So we aired that 3 weeks ago now, I think. But his new car talks about that, and he's racing Moab coming up. I saw he's on the short list for Moab area BFE. So that's exciting. I need to talk to him. And I was hoping to make it out there. It's not going to happen, but very cool, though. Very, very cool. He's getting that car dialed in. So
he had a little bit of repair work to do on it from Hammers. But, it's funny because we'll have to get him back on the show, and obviously we will. But, the Sunday, I guess it was Sunday after the race, we were down in their pit. They were packing up and, getting everything loaded up. And, we were talking about his, just a brief little conversation. He's kind of mad at himself about overdriving the car. And, he takes full blame for their issues. But, you live and learn. You learn from your mistakes. You still need to learn what the car is capable of, what its limitations are, and so forth. And, I know that they're going to come out swinging, and they're going to do very, very well in the future. So,
yeah, he's getting seat time, and each time he's getting better and better in that thing. So it's a different animal from the Bomber that he had,
Oh yeah, no doubt.
So later on that afternoon, early evening, we finally got the Ultra 3 cast of characters in the trailer.
It was late afternoon.
Yeah, there was no shortage of adult beverages.
And, oh my God, the amount of beers those guys drank.
They were tuned up and ready to go. It was freaking awesome. So that episode will air next week. We're going to air that one next week.
In a week or so. Yeah, we have to bump it.
We had a little editing to do on that one. It was a little chaotic, but it's going to be worth the listen for sure.
Oh yeah, so hear about the roots of Ultra 3 and how it all came to fruition and whatnot.
So you'll get to Don was trying to steal the show. I kept having to give him some shit and reel him back in. So, it was good. That was fun.
Don't give him the microphone.
Yeah, it was a great. It was really cool. Yeah, that was Thursday, and I'm like gassed at this point. It's Thursday, and things are just starting to.
Well, that's UTV race day, so there's racing going on. Towards the end of the race is happening, and we don't have results for that. But
we don't need results. It's way past. If you didn't see the results, it's too late.
Somebody won.
Mm-hmm. But another thing I got to interject here during the week of Hammers Week. So the fireworks were minimal. I mean, I literally there was probably 25 fireworks that went off in the early part of the week. Mm-hmm. Just a few over here, a few over there, and then that was it. And it was like every night was just a couple. So I was pleasantly surprised that people heeded Dave's warning.
Yeah, it was nice
to just don't do it. So that's awesome. We talked about other things that went on out there, and I'm not even going to rehash that. But Johnson Valley Pirate Radio
Oh yeah.
Oh, fucking that is so awesome. And one of the guys was listening to it on his Baofeng, and I go, "Oh, that's right. We can get radio stations on this thing." So I had my Baofeng tuned into that thing at night. It was fucking hilarious, man. The stuff that they came up with, their commercials. Kudos. Whoever is running that operation, I hope it continues because it is highly entertaining. It is awesome. And I was really sad on Sunday morning when I woke up and the airwaves, it was static again. So KOH came to a crashing halt Sunday morning. The lake bed was clearing out.
Oh my God.
But yeah, anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself, but
we don't want to get that far ahead because we have still a lot to talk about.
So Friday, what happened Friday?
Oh, that's 4,800. That's the Everyman Challenge.
EMC.
And you get down to the start finish line because you want to be running around like a maniac.
I do. I watch everybody line up in Hammertown and get staged, and then head out to the short course, and then take off the start line. So we have, a lot of our people are racing that race, and it's exciting, man. It's really cool. The relationships we've made over the years, and getting to see them take off the line. It was great. And so I normally watch the start line, then head back to camp, but I waited since Randy was first off the line. I waited for him at BFG Pit was right there by the start line, and hung out there with, Nick Bailey and excuse me, of course, all of Amber's family's there, and, just Bomber Bob and, everybody. And the whole BFG crew. So that was cool, hanging out with them and catching up with people. And then, here comes Randy in the main pit. So that was exciting to watch all that. Oh, I got to hang out with Charlene Bauer for a while there, too.
Oh, yeah.
She's, Mrs. BFH, or BFG, I should say. But she is a ton of fun, and known her for years. So
she's been on the show.
Oh, yeah. And I know her dad well, and anyways, it's great. So we had a good time there in the pits.
And didn't you also kind of hang out or with a very important person from BFG? Met him or something? The CEO or president or? All the big guys were there, and gals, and the executive team, the C-suite people.
Exactly.
Were they wearing suits?
And then no, not at all. And then Miles, he was right there to interview Randy, and so before Randy came in, I got to get a picture with Miles right in front of the start finish line there, and
the mic wrench.
Talk to him. Yep, the mic wrench. So let's see.
Is it a wrench mic? It's a wrench mic, not a mic wrench.
A mic wrench mic, a micro wrench with a microphone, something like that. Yes. But yeah, and so went back to camp, was like watching, and then, Randy was stopped for quite a while, and we found out why that he
was inverted.
He was inverted, and we heard about that on the podcast, and that sucked. So that was race ending for them. But Amber cruised by and waved like, "You okay?" And we heard that Randy said no, but Amber heard yes and drove on. But hindsight, that was the right thing to do because it would have got Randy upright faster, but he just would have found out faster that his race day was done with that broken transfer case output and transmission.
Yeah.
So, so Amber finished physically fifth, and then got moved up this year to second official finish because of penalties and stuff from other people, and they threw penalties on her initially that we talked about in that podcast that she was able to prove otherwise, which is freaking awesome. Proof is in the photos and video.
Absolutely.
So that was an exciting day. She did really well. She came in second again and proved that it wasn't a fluke, and that she's knocking on the door for the first Queen of the Hammers. That would be epic.
Rooting for her for the future. It's going to be awesome.
You and everybody else,
right?
So, yeah. So we had a little celebration at camp that night. And,
yes, we did.
It was Friday night, and I went to bed at a decent hour. I think it was 10-ish. I tapped out because Saturday race day was upon us.
Yes, 4,400 unlimited class Race of Kings, sponsored by. I'm not going to do that.
Powered by Optima Battery. Anyways, so again, love to be up there in Hammertown where everybody's staging. It wasn't that cold, so I didn't see any diff heaters or anything going. There was a lot of engines idling and running, but it wasn't so cold that they were preheating the 250 weight oil and the diffs.
That's right. The molasses.
Right. So watch them take off the start line. Same thing. I ended up hanging out BFG pit and watched the Randy pit when he came back into Maine. I was there for a while because I got to see Aaron Smith come through, Cole and Sky Clark from SXOR Motorsports come through, and so a lot of our friends there, the podcast, got to see them come through Main Pit. Ran back to the camper, grabbed a Sando, and got the projector going inside the camper again, and was watching the race live feed. And you and I were in there, Dave Ainsworth, and that was entertaining as always, being there. And of course, when they were, whoever we wanted to see was going right by camp, you could just step outside and watch it live.
Yep.
Which was great. Lot of fun. But holy smokes, what a day!
Long day,
what a race. And yeah, I started out in the morning with the heater going in the camper, and then it got nice during the day, so open up the door, and then it got a little too nice and got hot, and then it turned on the AC, and then it got cold, and then it was like, okay,
dark again.
Holy shit, it's dark. It's dark outside. We always wanted this thing to go till dark, and here it is.
I know, right? And that was the thing. That was the thing. I mean, looking at the live feed, and some of the cars are coming into the pit, like Lauren Healy. He during one of his pit stops, the team was mounting his light bar, so he could continue.
Yeah, they put the light bar. Yeah, no, that was cool. Watching them put the light bar on the car so that you could it's gonna be dark, so you better be ready.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, obviously the drama that unfolded on lap 3, it just, the teams that made it to lap 3, there was a cutoff. If you didn't, I think it was 5 p.m. If you weren't starting lap 3 by 5, you weren't going to be allowed back on the course. There were quite a few cars that made it to lap 3, but obviously there was a lot of challenges in that lap. And
there was the one side-by-side that elected to do the lap 3. They had that option. And so that I forget the name of the individual, but they went out. And they probably regretted doing that.
Yeah, I would think so.
They went out at 5:30. So, more power to them. So we all know what happened and stuff, but 9:13 is when Randy and Dustin pulled in to Hammertown after starting at 8 whatever in the morning that they went off the line. That was pretty electric, man. Getting that fourth win. We didn't know if it was official yet at that point, but to physically finish first in the toughest King of the Hammers ever, and then to officially get the win. Shortly after that, they called it and said, "Yep, we're saying that's a clean run, win, boom." Here's your trophy for the 4th time.
That's right. Well, only 2 cars. 4-time king. Only 2 cars came across the finish line in time.
Before the 10 o'clock shut out.
10 o'clock shut down for the course. Yeah, pretty amazing to think. And then the other drama that was, unfolding, because as it got darker, the drones started becoming less effective, and so forth. So the hard mounted camera locations and the drones and whatnot. So the only feed that was still running was Paul Wolf's Starlink feed from his live cam in his car. And watching that, dude, that was epic. To see him. Struggling with the car, and getting to that point where he was near a Gomez car, and he had permission to strip parts off the Gomez car to see if he could put his steering ram back together. And then he's the video of him leaning on his car, or laying on Gomez's car, talking to his wife and saying, and then I guess the comment, what did he say? He said, "Nobody's going to finish this race this year."
Nobody's going to finish this race.
So, I mean, again, congratulations to Randy Slauson and his entire team. I mean, they ground it out during what you just said, the hardest King of the Hammers ever. That lap 3 was gnarly. But I mean, to see the tenacity and the just won't quit behavior from Paul Wolf that was live streamed was, he's like every man's hero right now, just amazing to see what he was able to accomplish. And then he got that car going again, and just, strong-armed, Armstrong steering to get back to the remote pit so they could, try to fix the car, but they called him off at that point. So
right.
Big disappointment for Paul Wolf, but I mean, that guy's got heart, man, heart.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And, it was cool. And to, I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast, but, Aaron Smith getting third, or they handed him the third place trophy, even though it was after the time and all that stuff. But then it came out that, oh no, Paul Wolf got third, but it didn't matter, because Paul ended up calling up Aaron, I guess, and saying, look, if I didn't get first, I didn't win, and clearly we didn't make it in time, and just know that I didn't instigate this, third place finish thing. He goes, I care less about that. I care that, finishing in time and finishing first. So, great sportsmanship all the way around.
Absolutely.
It tested man and machine. The big question in my mind, as a spectator, yes, I'd love to see that race again next year. I don't know if we will. I'm sure there was a lot of, logistics and stuff, the video being one of them, and everything just being that long, and, spectators leaving the main stage area because it was freaking all day long. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting, but I think it was 100% appropriate for the 20th anniversary of King of the Hammers.
Oh, no doubt. 100%.
I wouldn't have changed anything, this year, how that, shook out and how long it went and everything. But I don't know. We'll see. It's there's a lot of theories. I talked to a lot of people, and I hear a lot of different things. And there's some, people think funny about this stuff, and they're just
funny.
They made it so a golf cart can't finish, and is that true? I don't know. It could make some sense, because, the golf cart won last year and it almost won the year before. So it's like, okay, I don't know. You just kind of wonder what all happens behind the scenes, and when you're creating a course, and, obviously you can cater to, or eliminate some cars by making a course ridiculously hard. So.
Well, no doubt. I mean, Dave Cole obviously knows that the Johnson Valley area like the back of his hand, and he knows, he kind of, there's a few people on this planet that I would never want to crawl under their head and see their thoughts, and Dave Cole's one of them. So, you know what I mean? Just, does he argue with himself internally? I'm sure he does, but when he sets his mind to something, and this is a compliment. He can accomplish great things, and I mean, obviously, the course for 2026 was incredibly challenging for a lot of teams. So
yeah, oh my gosh. Okay, so Randy pulled in 9:13, and then celebration ensued and everything. So I hung out there till like, I don't know, 11. Something like that. People started to disperse, and so I went back to camp, and went back to the live feed because I knew we still had some people out there. We had, Aaron and Kevin, Team 178. And of course, we had Justin and Chris Wicks.
Oh, right.
And,
yeah.
So they were showing up on the live feed in the dark, and you could see their car because of the Maxis orange on the Wicks's car. Anyways, it was fun watching it. And then so James came back because he was pitting for the Wicks.
That's right.
And he was a little heated. James got a little heated there in the pit because the race official, Ben Napier, said, "Hey, keep racing. Even though it's past the time, we want them to finish if they can." Okay, that was the message that was laid. And then some other course workers said, no, your race is done, and they had to get back. So James was all pissed off about that, and rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
But we heard the story from Justin and Chris there, and it was a long freaking day.
Oh, yeah.
So
it was.
So I go, hey, it looks like Aaron and Kevin are going to come across the finish line. I go, come on, let's go. And he goes, okay. So we went down there. They came across the finish line at 12:28 p.m.
Wow. AM.
So I know these timestamps because I was taking pictures and video at the time. I'm not just pulling it out my ass.
You said PM. It was AM.
12 in the morning. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, 12 a.m.
Yeah.
So it was late.
Early, depending.
It was exciting. Pam Hall was still there. Dave Cole was still there. Ian Johnson was still there. I got a great, I got to post. There's so many pictures and stuff I need to post, but Ian was there. So Ian, they auctioned off the whiskey bottles that Dave gave Dustin and Randy for winning. And so Ian bought that bottle from the auction, had Randy sign it, and he had it with him, and he shows it to me. He goes, I just went up to your whiskey collection. I go, you definitely did with that bottle, but that was too rich for my blood.
Nice.
But it was very cool. So anyways, hung out there till 1 something in the morning. I know it was after 2:00 when my head finally hit the pillow in my bed.
In your bed. Did anybody win the backdoor challenge?
Nope. Nobody won that purse, the pool.
A couple people attempted it, but nobody
People
succeeded.
People tried it, and there was, the conversations of let's just get the money and run, let's make the $15,000 and a bottle of whiskey from Wheeling Wine and Whiskey and call it good. But nobody made it. Nobody made it. That sucks. But that was a cool contest that they put together.
Hell yeah, it was. Last second thing. Pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that next morning, Sunday, I packed up some stuff the day before, or that day, Saturday, and then Sunday I was, kind of just relax and pack up and
watch cars leave.
And then we went down to into the pits there and said goodbye to some of our friends. And Kevin Jones, we were over at Balmer, and then Kevin Jones rolls up in his full entourage, the motorhome and everything. He says, well, I'm going to hang out here.
Yeah,
and we were talking about going out
Road
for
was
a ride.
Parking lot at that point.
It was a parking lot at that point. Yeah. And we were going to go out on a run, and I thought the bomber crew had already left, but they were still there. And then it got dispersed. I don't know what happened, but some people went to back doors. Some people went over here, and I'm like, oh, fuck it. Dave Ainsworth and I were together, and I go, what do you want to do? And I go, dude, why don't we go head over to SOS and Blueberry over by Turkey Claw? There's some great wheeling over there. It's close to camp, and we can watch the chaos of Boone Road go out. So that's what we did. Kevin Jones hopped in right seat with me, went over there. We're headed up Turkey Claw, and there's Boston Kyle there. So got to see Boston Kyle, and that was great. And Ava was there. So we motored up there and just started doing trails, and pulling some fun lines. And I right out of Turkey Claw, I made the left out of there. I think it was heading over to SOS, and there was, or I guess it was Yeah,
Or that bailout before the big climb where you go on the big drop down.
Right, there's some steep climbs in there to get out, and there's an easy way around all those steep climbs. But I went one of those steep climbs, and then there was another crazy steep climb beyond that had like high consequences. If you went off on the driver's side, you were about 12 feet from the trail below that you would tumble down to, and Dave Ainsworth went up it, and of course he's got the rear steer, and he worked the rear a little bit, but made it up. But I'm like, well, I'll put tires on it and see. And Kevin's like, should I put on my harness now? I said, I don't know. You're the fucking racer. I'm just a wreck wheeler. so he went up there, and it stuck, man. The new stickies, and I just slowly crawled it, and it was slipping and slipping and slipping, and so they turned uphill, and it grabbed a little bit, and then it finally got traction and motored right up. But it was a little sketch. So that got us going, and went out and had fun, and got up to the top and looked out at Boone Road, and it was still, moving, but not great. So we did a couple more obstacles and trails, and then headed back and dropped Kevin off at his camper, and then he worked his way out, and I guess he got out in a pretty decent time.
He had to have been dog tired, man.
Oh my God. He referred to you of your limited ins and outs. He says, my ins and outs are done. He was so sore and tired from jumping in and out of that car. And not to mention, he was in
pulling cables, stacking
15
rocks,
some odd hours or whatever. I don't know. It's ridiculous. So man, I don't know, but great hammers, one for the record books. I mean, the weather, everything. It was just like a great time. Time flew as usual. Great outcome, great stories. It was awesome. It was a awesome 20th anniversary of the Hammers. So.
It was good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I mean, obviously seeing Alan, Dusty Drone, came up to our camp a couple times and hung out, brought his RC cars and played in our RC course that we had set up there. And, it was super cool to see everybody, Dolly, Eric, Alan, and of course the gang that we camp with most of the time. And there were a few faces missing, which sucked, but, for the most part, it was a good crowd, and I
Rover Don. Don't forget about Rover Don.
Rover Don. Yep.
I'm trying to think, man. We had so many people come through camp.
The Snail Boys were there. They obviously
we don't need to mention them.
But Lee Lim was walking around.
Jimmy and Tyler were camped right, in our camp in the Hammertown Heights estates. They got in, but they were down in the lower. Subdivision.
Lower Upper Hammertown Heights.
They were upper, we were Upper Hammertown Heights States. They were lower Hammertown Heights States. So it was appropriate, down with the Toyotas. We had the Toyotas down below. So.
That's right.
Why, Chris? Because Toyotas suck.
That's right.
I worked it into the podcast.
Perfect.
I'm back, baby. I'm back.
So, but I'll tell you what, man, watching the Exodus on Sunday, I was in camp, and when you arrive there and during the week, the camp fills up more and more, and your views and vistas
they change.
They're always changing. But at the end of the week on Sunday, people are gone, and you have these clear lines of sight down to the lake bed. And it's like, there's at one point I'm sitting there. It's like, it was you, me, and Dave Ainsworth was basically all that was left
in that section. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then we
wild, huh?
Then of course Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday, so I was trying to watch the game a little bit, but you were packing and disconnecting Starlink and reconnecting and disconnecting, but that's fine. The Super Bowl this year kind of sucked, so. Then we had a nice dinner on Sunday night, steaks and some sides, and then hit the beds, and then wheels up first thing in the morning on Monday to an easy ride out on Boone Road.
What time did we leave? Was it right around 6 or so?
I think it was, I think I started my truck up at 5:30. I think we were on wheels up, moving down the road at just before 6. And we had, Wayne left just ahead of us.
Wayne got out right ahead of us, this big old motorhome. I was surprised to see him leave so early, but he got out right ahead of us. Like, oh shit. And then we ended up passing him on Boone Road. We squeezed by there.
Yep.
Yeah,
then,
it was smooth sailing for us on the way out.
Yeah, I mean, it was an easy drive until, I had a few challenges getting home. First of all, I was starting to get sick, which that started to suck. Yeah. But funny thing, I stopped at the Loves in Boron again to fill up my truck and made it over the Tehachapi's, got down to I-5 and I had enough fuel to make it to Harris Ranch, where I wanted to, fill up with diesel and fill up my belly with a nice brisket
sambo or brisket. Yeah.
And I'm thinking, man, I'm getting hungry. I want some food and I want some fuel. So I finally pull into Harris Ranch, and God damn it, their diesel pumps were down. I don't know what was going on. If there was no diesel, all the diesel pumps. It was like, this sucks. So I'm like, all right, I guess I got to go to the other side of the freeway, which is, the west side of the freeway. And the restaurant, the little county, whatever that thing is, where you get the brisket sandos,
was deli. Yeah.
Packed.
Country store.
The country store was packed with people. I'm like, okay, I'm not waiting an hour for a sando at this point. So I jump back in the truck and head over to the other side to get fuel, find a Valero over there. And they have, something's going on with their credit card reader. So, okay, what's happening here? What's happening? I don't get it. Then there was a Chevron station next to it. And I'm like, I pull in there and they have diesel, their pumps are working, but their credit card readers on those pumps on that island weren't working. So I'm like, well, that's fine. I got cash. I carry a fair amount of cash for hammers. So I walk in, it's a, dude, one of the funny things about that is the diesel pump couldn't have been any farther from the freaking store where the cashier, if they tried, just like the literally kitty corner from each other.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, I walk in there, I give the lady $100 bill, and it's like, okay, I don't know if I'm going to need a change or not. We'll start with $100. So I walk back, fill my truck up, and I needed like $13 in change coming back.
Okay.
So I had to walk all the way back to the cashier to get my change. And then I come back, get the truck, and I was like, okay, there's a McDonald's across the street. I'm really hungry. I need to get something. So I can't do the drive-through, obviously, because I got a camper on the truck. So I park and I go in, and it's getting close to lunchtime, and the place is packed, and there's literally nobody at the cashiers taking orders. You have to do the order through the kiosk.
Oh, geez.
Big touchscreen kiosk, and there's a massive line. And I'm like, fuck, I just want a fucking burger and fries.
Yeah.
And so and I knew I was getting sick at that time, and my patience was running thin, but finally I was able to order from the kiosk, and I could sit back in the camper in the parking lot, and I wolfed down my burger and freaking hit the road and get back to Livermore, like, fuck, I don't know, whatever, 3 or maybe it was 5 p.m. I don't remember. It was sometime in the afternoon, and I was feeling really crappy at that point. So I just leveled the camper enough to keep the refrigerator running, went into the house, and went to bed.
Wow. Yeah. My drive was uneventful, good weather. And I made it home in decent time that afternoon, evening. And same thing. I was pretty wiped out, and I got some stuff unhooked and dumped the tanks and all that stuff. And then, the next day was just cleaning, unpacking, cleaning. Yeah.
I only just got the camper last Monday, a week ago, a little less than a week ago. I finally got the camper off the truck.
Okay.
I did the major internal cleaning on it. There was still dust on the counters and table, and I vacuumed it. But I mean, the camper is safely stored right now. We're waiting for the next event, which should be a safety clinic for Esprit de Four.
That's right. Yeah, May, third weekend in May, Esprit de Four safety clinic. Excuse me.
Holy moly!
I haven't heard if that's full or not yet. It's got to be, right? I haven't been keeping up.
I hadn't heard of registration even open, but it's 9 weeks away. So
I don't know. Well,
I hope Mansmiths is.
If you're interested in going, go to espritdefour.com and or ED or 4x4 safety, 4x4safety.org. I think will get you there.
Yeah, and espritdefour.com will do it too.
Yeah, that too. But how do you spell spree?
ESPRITDEFOUR.
Complicated.
Yeah, Google it.
Google it. Chat GPT it. So, anyways, well, we're at the hour and a half mark. I think I covered everything I can remember. I'm sure I left some stuff out.
Yeah, no, there was a lot going on. I just a great trip. Sad to go, but looking forward to next year. So yeah,
for sure. Yeah, we had quite the whiskey selection again this year. There was some bottles graciously donated, so thanks to all who brought bottles and partook and had fun. And yeah, we enjoyed the company and the interviews. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Got Brett King in. That was a big get.
Oh yeah,
Bomber Bob's debut podcast career debut was great. So, anyways, well, we do. Ultra 3 will be coming out next. That'll wrap up our 2-month-long KOH recap, and then we'll talk about Lance life and getting ready for
summer,
the 2026 wheeling season here.
Summer.
Looking forward to it. I don't want winter to go away yet, but I always look forward to wheeling in the summer and getting out in the Sierras and Rubicon, Fordyce, Barrett, just fun stuff. So,
of course, along Highway 4, doing Adopt a Trail and all the good stuff that we did, volunteer work that we do to keep the trails open.
June, I think it's going to be June 11th. What did I say? June, 12th, 13th, 14th. So we'll be up there in the Arnold area. I don't think we're going to have to worry about snow this year. So
no,
that's good.
7909, Horse Gulch.
Yeah.
More details to follow.
That's right. All right. How do they get a hold of us?
Oh, God, there are so many ways. IG, you can go at Wheeling Wine Whiskey. And then, of course, IG is just great. I mean, it's a great way to communicate with us. You can also go to our phone number, which is 408-800-5169. Again, 408-800-5169.
I see Keith Silva called in, Rover Don, and Cody the Sand Squirrel. So we'll get those on here shortly.
All right.
Now that we're getting caught back up.
And then get going on all of our routine stuff. And then, of course, emails, jason@wheelingwineandwhiskey.com. And, of course, chris@wheelingwineandwhiskey.com. And we want to give shout outs to, Austin over there at Irate 4x4, because, without him, there'd be a lot less support for the show. Right. So, you can go to irate4x4.com and look down to watch, listen, and discuss. And you can see our podcast there, Wheeling Wine and Whiskey. And you click on that, and it's a way to listen to the podcast. You can interact with listeners of the podcast, make comments. But on the right side of the screen, you can also see a way to directly support the show, which, as we always say, is much appreciated, but not required.
That is correct. So, great stuff. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for supporting.
Thanks for not writing us off totally. And we'll see you on the next one. With that, Chris,
we're out.